Hey folks, Hal Shurtleff here on a beautiful July afternoon, and I am up in Union, Maine. And Union, Maine is a rural town. It's probably about 30 or 35 miles east of Augusta, and probably it's not too far from the coast, though they call it mid-coast Maine, probably about 10 miles or so from Route 1. And we're at the Matthews Museum of Maine Heritage, which is at the Union Fairgrounds property. And this is the Moxie Museum, which is part of the entire museum. You see here a lot of artifacts, a lot of agricultural antiques and wonderful things. But why they have this museum here is that the inventor of Moxie was from Union. I guess he didn't spend a whole lot of time. He moved away as, I think, a young man, Dr. Augustine Thompson. He was born here in, looks like 1835 and died in 1903. The Moxie drink was eventually bottled in Lowell, Massachusetts. And this is the famous, although you maybe never heard of it until you saw this video, the Moxie House bottle, or bottle house. And I'm going to read a little bit about it on the little plaque here. In the 1880s, Dr. Augustine Thompson of Lowell, Massachusetts, introduced a new sparkling beverage to the public. Originally called Moxie Nerve Food, the drink offered both refreshment and a remedy to medical ailments. As the soda gained in popularity, the Moxie Nerve Food Company moved to Boston, Massachusetts, to enlarge its business. Until the 1920s, Moxie was the most popular soft drink sold in America. In 1906, the Pure Food and Drug Act forced a change in the elixir from Moxie Nerve Food. The new law required that the company withdraw its claim that the drink provide medicinal benefits and eliminate any use of cocaine, alcohol, or caffeine in the product. The new breed offered a healthful and refreshing beverage which has a tendency to counteract the ill effect of summer heat. To draw attention at food fairs and domestic science expositions, the company created a 32-foot high bottle-shaped concession stand. And here this was designed to be assembled and disassembled and moved around. And it became a popular showpiece. The beverage sold for a nickel at the stand. The structure was equipped with windows, doors, a ladder that people could climb inside the bottle to a lookout point at the top, and a slide to get back down. It was built of teak wood designed with pin connection sections that could be taken apart easily and reassembled as it traveled to each show. After making appearances in 1907 at Mechanics Hall in Boston and in 1908-09 at Luna Park at Coney Island, New York, in 1910 the bottle-shaped stand finally settled at Manchester, New Hampshire's Pine Island Park near the roller skating rink. Alterations were made to display both the logo and the change in name from Moxie Nerve Food to simply Moxie. By World War I, a new eye-catching Moxie horsemobiles, fake horses mounted on automobiles, became very popular, and the Moxie refreshment stand was abandoned. In the winter of 1919, Louis Messier carted it across the frozen Pine Island Pond to Lot 54 Pine Island Park's cottage area. The stand had rooms on the first and second floors and storage in the neck, and it was enlarged by the addition of two-room cottage. Messier added wiring, indoor plumbing, an upright piano, and a hammock. In 1922, the bottle home was sold to James J. Todd for $400. He moved it into a cozy space with his wife, 3 children, and a father-in-law. The family enjoyed their unique home for over 60 years. Preservation-minded owners David Lowell and Paul Heeman bought it in 1999, then carefully dismantled and stored it. In 2001, the Friends of the Moxie Bottle House bought the historic stand to restore and exhibit at the Matthews Museum in Union, Maine, the birthplace of Dr. Thompson. And this is quite the Americana. I mean, talking about vintage Moxie. And there's some new products too. They're still bottling it, of course. And old soda fountain here. Posters, because growing up in Boston, I was aware of Ted Williams' advertisements for Moxie, And it looks like maybe he actually did drink the stuff, because here's a more recent ad that looks like it might be from the 80s and 1990s. So maybe he actually did drink the Moxie. My children like it. I'm not a fan of it myself, but if I'm thirsty and it's cold, I might indulge myself. Here's another large Moxie bottle, of course. Here, it looks like the original. And it looks like one of the early coolers. This here was made of some type of fiberglass, or what's it made from? Made of fiber with written advertisements. Crushed ice was used in a pan to keep the bottles of Moxie cold. And that was designed by Frank Archer in 1900. And some various people donated, some people who actually worked for the Moxie company for years. So this museum is open in July and August from 12 to 4 during the week. And it's appointment only in June and September. And of course, during the fair, which is in late August, you can visit the museum if you buy admission. The admission here is only $5, and it's definitely worth supporting. So Matthews Museum is the website. Let's see, here's a little card. Oh, here it is right here. MatthewsMuseum.org. And so it's open from Wednesday to Saturdays, noon to 4 p.m., in June and September by appointment. So with that, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel.